We in NFL Films have had a contractual relationship for a few years. We all saw it come to a boiling point last year whenever we were pretty much getting sued by the NFL for utilizing graphics of NFL teams on graphics on our show. We could run video because we're paying multiple millions of dollars to NFL Films on our show. I was paying multiple millions of dollars to NFL Films to run highlights on the show. But once it was paused, you see, with the logo.
No logos.
Can't do that.
Nope.
So that was, and we were the first people that was an independent company, independent operation that got rights and got a deal done with NFL Films. So I was very thankful and proud of NFL Films. But through that whole process, NFL Films and the NFL lawyers had to battle a lot. NFL Films went to bat for us a lot. NFL Films has been a great partner for us for the last couple of years. We know a lot of people over there, okay? So whenever we say, like, we should be watching Hard Knocks, it's not just like for the entertainment value. It's like we understand how much time NFL Films puts into Hard Knocks and how much, like, effort they put into it and how much of acknowledgement they knew that it was kind of getting stale there for a while.
Yeah.
They understood that they had to kind of reinvent the wheel. So then they do this in-season one, and the Colts had it for a little bit there. I forget who Cardinals had it, and it ended bad. It was starting to get a curse. It was starting to get a curse. Like, do not have Hard Knocks in season, just like the regular Hard Knocks was, just like the Madden curse became. It was like, don't do this. And the NFL Films people feel that. Like, they actually, they hear it, they listen, they take it. It's a whole thing. So now that they have the Miami Dolphins, I feel like we should have been watching all season. And last night, we all made a commitment to each other to watch the episode. That might have been the greatest Hard Knocks episode I've seen.
Across the board.
It is phenomenal. They got a head coach in McDaniel who is not scared at all of being on camera. No. And I think the thing about people who get scared about being on camera are people that aren't authentic people. The people who maybe have a facade that they are putting out to the world are very scared to be on camera whenever they're not working or they're not doing their gimmick or they're acting. Might feel like they might get exposed for being a fraudulent or a fugazi. Like, don't find out who I actually am. Let's just keep this fake front that we are. McDaniel addressed the Hard Knocks thing at the beginning. He was like, yeah, cameras are here. Great. Would I like them not? No, but I'm not changing, and neither are you. And he has remained the same person that we all assume he was throughout the entire. You see clips from week one, and then you see last night's episode. This dude is awesome. McDaniel is fantastic. Does it work if they're losing?
No.
Maybe not. Nothing works whenever you're losing.
Yeah.
Even if you're Bill Belichick, greatest of all time. Shit doesn't work if you're losing. But it is working. They are winning. And there's going to be other owners that are going to be like, let's find another McDaniel. I don't think there is.
Nope.
And everybody says, he wears those pants up a little bit.
Sure.
He's got those sunglasses on.
Very cool.
Super cool.
The shoes.
Like, maybe he's not, the right guy. Accountability. Maybe he's not the right guy to ask things of his players. Got a lot of egos down there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of personalities down there. We're going into a Week 16 game here, and we're watching Hard Knocks. Listen to the decision he makes and how he goes about making his decision. Because remember, coaching is just communicating. How do you communicate your message to the team? Now, you got to have the right message. Feels like this guy's a football wizard. His message seemingly always good. But how do you get the boys to buy in? Listen to him on a Wednesday or Thursday meeting, Week 16. Everybody's exhausted at this stage. Not a lot of people want to practice at all. Listen to what he does to motivate the boys to get a great practice before this Dallas Cowboys game.
Yeah, I'm going to go talk some shit and get this turned up today. Hey, Butch, I know you just wanted to go through the motions today.
Offensive line coach.
Today. Oh, you almost fit me, bro. Hey, we're competing today. We're competing today. It's not time to be soft. We're competing today. You hear it? Like, I want shit talking after completions. Oh, yeah, visualize his world up. Oh, I love your noises. Hey, I hit the wideouts today. I hit the wideouts with this. Ravage these corners. These corners up today. Wes Welker, Sam Addison told me to apologize to you because his guys are going to choke your guys out today. Are you ready for a play call or what?
I'm ready.
And then they just go hard. Now, some practices are obviously not at a good level. The intensity level is not fantastic. I love the way he chooses to do the things that he does. After they had a massive loss, the way he decided to put accountability on others was like, also, hey, Not all your fault, my fault as well, but he was calling people out and doing it in his fashion. I love his message, AQ. I love the way he operates, and I think this is the perfect Hard Knock season for the whole world to learn about this dude's style.
I've loved everything about him since the beginning. Listen, he came from San Fran, right? And he was the architect behind that offensive line. Every single person I've talked to, the offensive line meetings, the run game meetings in San Fran, he ran. So he's taken that kind of persona, bringing it to Miami, and the way that he's gone about it, right? There's a fine line between being cheesy and hitting the right message to the guys, and I think he's nailed it.
I'm going to go talk some shit today, dude. But and then you said, I like that whenever he told Tua, I want plays, and I want you to talk shit. It's like, that's how you create a culture right there. That's the culture he's trying to build.
The one word that comes to my mind with Mike is empowering. And you see what he did with Tua, and it kind of just shines a light on how important, coaching is, especially head coaching, seeing where Tua started and where he's come. Even that conversation he had with Armstead in the locker room at halftime, like that was dope. Him talking, getting his guys going, all the personalities, Tyreek, Ramsey, Wilkins, like he got a bunch of big person. Still having Uncle Dan around, Dan Marino still in the building, that was awesome. But how he keeps the guys going, like you said, there's a fine line between cheesy and, to your point, if you're losing.
None of this.
Oh, it gets real cheesy. Now you start getting, maybe
shut up.
Russell Wilson type, how people felt about him last year. But it's awesome to see, especially obviously as a lifelong Dolphin fan.
Yeah, from South Florida, really from Broward, though. So we don't, hey, listen, I learned a lot on the internet about that this weekend. Okay. Speaking of empowering Tua, here's Tua in the huddle, okay? And we saw Tua at Alabama. I don't think I knew much about him. I knew he could play the ukulele.
Yeah, very well.
I knew he could sing. I knew he was well-liked.
Yep.
I knew he could put a ball literally in a keyhole if he wanted to. Didn't know him as a person. Then he gets to Miami, and that was terrible. I mean, there was the lawsuits about they should try this, and then there was bench him. There was fake reports going out to make him look soft.
Oh, he didn't get hurt. Actually, he broke his thumb.
Yeah, remember he had the hairline fracture in his ribs. Yeah, could have played. We didn't really find any injury. Then 3 days later, it was like, oh, he actually has a hairline fracture in his ribs. It's like, well, why'd you guys try to make him look bad, saying he didn't have an injury? It was terrible.
Bad.
Thought he was potentially broken, thought he was never going to have a thing. Then McDaniel tells us and tells everybody that, I went through however many plays of Tua. I found all the good things, and I'm going to build this team around making Tua good. And his only messaging was like, hey, Tua, you're a dog, dude. You are really good. We're very thankful for you. You're fantastic. And I don't know what Tua was like in the huddle whenever he was first quarterback for the Dolphins when they were pulling him out before 2-minute drill and having Fitz magic go in and everything like that. But listen to him talk to this huddle on a game-winning play against the Dallas Cowboys. Listen to the confidence, the sense of urgency, and also the command of a group of men who are very large, very competitive, very exhausted, and have their own egos and everything. Listen to Tua be a damn quarterback here.
This shit right here, T, this is on you guys on that left side.
Here's the deal. Miami gets first down. They could basically waste the clock down to nothing, try and kick the game-winning field goal.
Mike White, relax.
This is it. Wilson, he's going to have a first down. Let's go! Let's go! Down to the 10. No timeouts left for Dallas.
Let's go!
Now, Jason Sanders had not made a kick yet, but he would go on. Right. I saw Jason Sanders jog on the field while Tua was doing all that stuff, and I was like, all right, gotta make it.
Yeah, you better make it.
You know what I mean? You gotta. Hey, let's not watch this entire thing. You already went 4 for 4, and I think McDaniel last night there was a clip of him saying he's got this shit. McDaniel says that as he's walking on the field, and he inevitably makes it.
A big third down too, where Tua kind of called the shot. Immediately, knew what play he wanted to get to. The little Tyreek screen. Tyreek, all right, talking to himself, all right, got to get this shit, got to get right. Got it to him, got the first down, and obviously that was a big drive to basically, seal it.
Just his confidence, though. You know, he's the guy. He's in control. He's the trigger man. And it's like, I am pumped for this Miami Dolphins story as a whole, and I'm thankful Hard Knocks is on.
And like you mentioned earlier, there probably won't be another Mike McDaniel. Just like the position he was in. Think about the guys they're thinking about being head coaches now. It's all OCs. Like McDaniel just kind of came out of nowhere, and even when he was hired in Miami, it was like, who is this guy? What did he do? I don't know if anyone really gave him as much credit for the Niners run game as it was initially when he got hired, but it would be out of nowhere if there was some Mike McDaniel in, let's say, Ben Johnson or the guy down in Houston or Kafka, any of these guys that were up for jobs that were OCs, and then some run game coordinator comes in out of nowhere and he's the head coach now. Like that would at least it'd blow me out of the water if that happened this offseason.
And by the way, like, there's going to be, and I mentioned this earlier, there's going to be teams that are going to try to find the next McDaniel. It's like, don't try. This feels like 101 here.
Yeah.
He had an Ivy League brain.
Yep.
Right? Ivy League, he's got an Ivy League brain.
Yep.
He also grew up around ball. Wasn't he a ball boy there for a while?
Broncos.
Happened to be in the Shanahan family pretty much. Like he
Lost
is.
his job.
What's that movie? The Outsiders, or what's it called? When they Bill Gates grew up around the only computer.
Oh yeah, Outliers.
The
Malcolm
Outliers.
Gladwell, yeah.
It's like this guy is an outlier. This guy is one of one. I don't think it's repeatable. And then you add in the moxie and swag that he has. Listen to what he says as the captains are about to go out, and Uncle Dan Marino is the honorary captain of the night. First of all, look at Tua and Uncle Dan's relationship, and then listen to McDaniel just looking like a little kid. This is the head coach of the team, just chirping all the boys, motivating in his own style.
Uncle Dan.
We'll get their ass. Go.
Our captains are really good players. Holy shit. Son. Hey, we even got Dan Marino. Yeah, Dan Marino. Your records, Dan. We're coming for your records, Dan.
Dan and him love each other, by the way.
Yeah.
That's why he's in the building. I assume they were showing a video of all of Dan's accomplishments and Dan's records and what it is, number one, and everybody's clapping, having a good time. And McDaniel's like, we're coming for your chirping Dan Marino right before the game. And you hear how cool Tua is. Hey, let's go get their ass. Dan says, yes, sir. And then Tyreek, we even got Dan Marino. It's like the vibes immaculate, the confidence through the roof, and they have the talent in all phases. Why not the Miami Dolphins?
Seriously, why not? The vibes are immaculate, and it feels like we talk about matching head coaches with the city. It feels like he is a perfect match for Miami. I just noticed something in the background of the captain's clip. Why is Miami? Is that the game against Cowboys?
Yeah, I think so.
Why can't we show up on time? Okay,
Miami.
It's Miami. No chance.
Fair weather.
Remember LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh.
I thought this was Fin Fam.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Listen, you
Lot
got
going on.
That's just how Miami is. I think we all just understand. There was playoff games there for the Heat.
Yeah.
Where the lower bowl had 14 people
till the second
at
half.
tip-off or whatever. And then that's like LeBron. Like they were about to go win the entire.
Bars, some good bars, good clubs, good spots up there. You trick.
They're just getting ready for the game.
Yeah, you
Even
trick
last
your way
year.
down. They know.
Listen, they got warm up too. They know when
Boom.
they are at their peak.
Yeah, it's
When,
called
you know what?
tailgating 3 hours before the game starts.
Well, you can sleep in a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
When it's 70 and you're tailgating too, not as big of a rush. When you can just enjoy the weather, get a nice little tan on versus getting in there when it's 10 degrees.
Yeah, and I don't know what Ross is charging for drinks. Probably much cheaper outside.
I would assume.
Probably much cheaper outside.
But
if I had
to your point though, he is a great match for Miami. We talked about you. Like you're not going to find another Mike McDaniel, but we talked about the Lions yesterday. And like what Dan Campbell has done, like it's just about being authentic. And if you are a little cheesy, Mike McDaniel's a little cheesy. Be cheesy, be that, but be that when you're.
You think he's cheesy?
I think it's a little,
The one thing that's
a little
awesome.
quirky.
Oh,
I say
yeah,
quirky.
some of those
I
press
say
conferences.
quirky.
I didn't think anything I watched there.
No.
Not from last night.
That's
quirky.
the difference, though, is like the stuff we see on Twitter and stuff like that, where it's kind of, but like who he is in like the team meeting room, that where you see it on Hard Knocks, where he's letting F-bombs fly left and right. Like that guy's not cheesy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like going in front of the media and having some of those like quirky responses, but like he's not going up there and letting F-bombs fly in those. But when he's around his guys, like I don't think any of these guys, I mean, maybe at times, but for the most part, I think all those guys are bought in and they're hanging on every word he says. Like at least based on the clips we see on Hard Knocks, it certainly seems that way.
What did Flores say? Flores said that, or Colin Cowherd, who said it? What did they say last week, Gump? Something about him being all over social media or something?
Yeah, he said Mike McCarthy would never be on Twitter because Mike McDaniel's all over it. Mike McDaniel actually doesn't have a Twitter either, pal. I hate
What?
to break it to you.
No.
Yeah, and we were fake Gucci bags.
Oh.
Cowboys were the real Gucci bags.
No, I do appreciate that Colin Cowherd's like, every time I'm on here, there's a video of this guy.
Yep.
Okay, I don't see Big Mike on here.
No.
Colin Cowherd throws 102 on the tape.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Locked in.
Anytime something will come up from.
A lot of them go yard.
What's that? Oh, you're going to hit it hard.
A lot of them go yard.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why he's been doing it for so long. Absolute dog. But he did say some things. I think he echoed the sentiments of what a lot of people think. Like, oh, this guy wants attention, this guy this. It's like,
Miami, baby.
he won't come on our show. Like, I don't think he does it. He doesn't. He does only the mandated stuff, and then he's all ball all the time, which he's up at 4 a.m., that guy.
Yeah.
He's up at 4 or 3 a.m. to go to the work at 4 a.m. because of how much he loves ball. It's like, I think what you think, because the glasses and the shoes and the off-whites,
Sure.
and because he is a personality and everything like that, he's
Jacket.
younger and he looks sweet.
Yeah.
I think people's natural implication is like, oh, this guy's got to be a certain way. It's like, this dude is unlike anything else that there is. And Miami's got it. You got to love that. Now,